Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Add Grand Forks to the list of cities nationwide to experience a protest march. Law enforcement were concerned about today's protest possibly turning violent. So far, that hasn't been the case. Valley News Team's Joshua Peguero joins us live from Grand Forks, where the march began, on what he's seen so far. Joshua?
Mike, there were pockets of people lingering around, like around 4 in the afternoon, but right now things are clear. It appears that demonstrators have followed through on their promise to keep a peaceful march for this. Now, this march was held to honor George Floyd, who was killed in police custody, while police custody in Minneapolis, and 4 officers were arrested. Today's event started at around noon, and so a lot of the people were yelling and holding up signs that said "No justice, no peace," Black Lives Matter. They were marching through downtown Fargo. One of those in attendance was actually Police Chief Mark Nelson. He said it was hard for him to be over here, but he wanted to do it. Last week, his officer, Cody Holte, was killed in the line of duty.
It is hard. You know, I buried one of my officers on Tuesday, and we really haven't had a chance to grieve yet. We do our job, we do it with empathy, we do it with professionalism, and we'll continue to serve, and we'll find our time to grieve when appropriate.
Several people spoke at today's march, including the Grand Forks mayor and a city councilwoman. The chief says they did receive some threats, but none were credible. Mike?
Joshua, what's the plan for Grand Forks Police tonight? We all know what happened here in Fargo after the formal march took place. As a precaution, what are authorities going to be doing?
Well, one of the things that Chief Nelson did say was that he met with organizers before this took place, and he promised not to have a beefed up police presence as long as it went peaceful. As opposed for tonight, they're operating just as normal. There are going to be vehicles patrolling around Grand Forks. But again, this was a peaceful march, and a lot of people are happy that it was. Reporting live in Grand Forks, Joshua Peguero, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks so much, Joshua. As the demonstration in Grand Forks wraps up, a second gathering for George Floyd is planned for tomorrow here in Fargo. Valley News Team's Alexandra Kay joins us from the Fargo Police Department, where safety measures have been taken there. Alexandra, what does it look like?
Mike, I want you to take a look at what's going on here. As you can see, Fargo Police Department have boarded up their windows. Now, all of this is being done as a precautionary measure ahead of the event that's planned tomorrow, in case that event will end like the protest on Saturday. However, protesters and protest organizers held a conference earlier today where they stated that what was going to be a hours-long sit-in at City Hall is now going to be a celebration of life at Island Park, and said that all of the protesters in attendance are asked to stay there. Now, this change of plans was done to ensure that anybody in attendance stays at Island Park and for the protection of the city of Fargo. And I want to tell you exactly how seriously Fargo Police Department is taking this. I drove here with out-of-state plates, and I parked just across the street from the police department, and an officer pulled up asking me why I'm here. This goes to show just how serious they're taking this, but all of this is being done as a precautionary measure, and Fargo Police Department says they plan to stand with the marchers tomorrow. Reporting live in Fargo, Alexandra Kay, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks so much, Alexandra. We'll have coverage on tomorrow's protest right here on Valley News Live. After being suspended for 1 week without pay over his behavior at last weekend's protest turned riot, Fargo Deputy Chief Todd Osmundson has announced that he's resigning. Chief Todd had suspended Osmundson after he was reportedly spotted in the crowd of protesters undercover, holding a beer and yelling obscenities about police. Osmundson was acting on his own, and the chief said he did not have permission to do so. Late this afternoon, Osmundson read a statement to a select few members of the media. Here is part of what he had to say.
If I can't stand with my community, our community, to have a voice for change within our department today, I truly believe in doing what is best for our city and our community. And it is now, with my head held high, I willingly step down from my command post for what is best for our city and our department.
We have posted the full statement for you online on valleynewslive.com. From a weather standpoint, it's been a wonderful day, from mowing the lawn, which I did this morning, to letting the kids play outside, which a lot of you have done. There have been plenty of opportunities. Hope you get an opportunity to get outside tonight. Let's go to Hutch for a look at tonight's weather planner. Mr. Johnson, I presume?
Yes, it is, and thank you so much, Mr. Morkin, as we're watching and tracking some showers and thunderstorms through southeast North Dakota now, making their way into our viewing area. Dickey and Lemoore County seeing some rumbles of thunder and lightning working its way off to the east at 25 miles per hour. These storms are not severe, however, the ones in South Dakota, more energy from those, large hail potential from those. For us, anywhere along and south of Interstate 94, we're going to get a good drink of water on things that have dried out here with our stretch of warm weather. 70s west, 80s still in Fargo, and near 80 in Lakes Country. Here's your planner for this evening. You can still mow the lawn and play outside. Things will be pretty good. The best chance of showers here hits around the 10 o'clock hour and beyond. After that, I don't think we'll have too much to worry about. Details on your Friday forecast and a look ahead towards potentially severe weather this weekend in a moment.
All right, thanks, Hutch. There's new information on the assault investigation at a Moorhead apartment. Police are now saying one man has serious injuries and the situation is considered a significant assault. This was the scene just after midnight at 1615 20th Street South. Officers found two people were injured. Both were rushed to the hospital. There's been no update on their conditions, but because of the severity of injuries to one person, the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension was called in to help process that crime scene. Investigators are still trying to determine the cause of an early morning house fire in West Fargo. The call came in just before 4 at the home on 3rd Avenue Northwest. The family living there woke up when someone knocked on their door and told them the garage was up in flames. Everyone was able to get out safely. Thousands have gathered for 10 straight days since George Floyd's death, but the crowd in Minneapolis today was different, coming together outside of a family memorial, quietly, respectfully honoring his memory. Jay Gray was there with the group.
Amazing grace.
If only for a couple of hours, calm replaces what has been a constant, uneasy tension in Minneapolis.
It's crazy, man. All these people came to see my brother, and that's amazing to me that he touched so many people's hearts.
George Floyd's family and friends coming together to say goodbye.
I just want to say thank you to him just for being there, just being a real, genuine person, just being loving and caring and somebody I can count on no matter what.
Protective masks can't hide the pain and heartache, fueling demands for justice and change growing since Floyd's death.
It's time for us to stand up in George's name and say, get your knee off our necks.
The message literally sounding from the rooftops to a crowd just outside the memorial and echoing across the nation, thousands gathering like they have for 10 straight days now in Washington and here in Brooklyn.
I thank God for y'all. I thank God for y'all showing love to my brother.
Floyd's brother Terrence leading a prayer service and march in Brooklyn. This silent demonstration in Massachusetts, and perhaps the most powerful tribute coming from Floyd's little girl, Gianna, atop her godfather's shoulder.
That changed the world.
This is just the beginning of a long goodbye. There's a public memorial this weekend in North Carolina, followed by a public viewing and funeral Monday and Tuesday in Houston. Bail has been set today for 3 of the former Minneapolis police officers accused in the death of George Floyd. The 3 are charged with aiding and abetting second-degree murder, unintentional while committing a felony, and aiding and abetting second-degree manslaughter with culpable negligence. The judge set bail for each officer at $1 million unconditional and $750,000 with conditions. Derek Chauvin is charged with second-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. No date has been set for his first court appearance. Talking to your kids during these tough times can be a challenge. Some tips on how you can do it coming up later on Valley News Live at 6.
But next, high temperatures this afternoon, near 80 to 85 in Fargo. Another sizzler. We have thunderstorms tracking through south central and southeast North Dakota. I'll tell you where they're going. We'll have a look at that wild weekend weather next.